Hello friends, today we are going to study of the chapter number 2 of economics, that is theory of demand and supply. So without wasting any further time, let's dive into the chapter. So first is we'll study about unit 1, that is law of demand and elasticity of demand. Okay, so the learning outcomes, you will learn about the meaning of demand, what will determine the demand, and this is chapter overview. So they have given in the start, but as we will complete the chapter, I'll help you revise through the workflow and the chart flow, and once the chapter is over, we will try to make it ourselves, the chart, right? So let's come to our first topic, that is meaning of demand, right? So students, what we have to think about is when we are studying economics, so what basic they'll use the basic terminology like demand, elasticity of demand, but whatever knowledge we have, first of all, to memorize it and help you revise it properly, what we have to do is first we have to gather thinking about what we know about the topic, whatever little, through the English terminology or through English terms. So what we know about demand, we will learn about the meaning of demand in economic terms, but let's talk about first what is the meaning of demand in our what we know. So demand in common terms, what we know is demand means desire, that I have a demand, I demand you to give me this thing, I demand luxurious cars, I demand luxurious lavish buildings. So this is the demand in our common terms, but what economics says is something more than what we have learned. So let's talk about what actually demand means in terms of economics. So the term demand refers to quantity of goods and services. So the term demand here means the quantity of goods and services that the buyers are willing. See, what we found out through demand in our own terms, that we should be willing to have that product. For us, that was the demand until now. But what in economic terms we have is quantity of goods and services that the buyers are willing and are able to purchase. See, I can have a demand to have Audi or Jaguar or any kind of branded car, but am I able to purchase? That also, that factor of consideration will also be taken into meaning of demand. So quantity of goods and services that the buyers are willing and able to purchase at various prices during a given period of time. So how many points we had? 1, 2, and able to purchase at various prices during a given period of time. Okay, so to revise, quantity of goods and services, willingness, then third one, ability, then fourth one is various prices, and last was given period of time. So we broke this into points point wise, so we are able to we'll go further. When we'll go further, you will understand why I have broken it into terms. So because the terms, again, we are going to expand it and we are going to learn about it. So the term demand refers to the quantity of goods and services and its willingness of the buyer, ability of buyer to purchase it at various prices during a given period of time. It is to be noted that demand in economics is something more than desire to purchase. Okay, though desire is one of the element of it, right? As we have studied further before, that demand was an element of it, willingness to buy was the one of the consideration for it, but there were many factors to it, right? So for example, people may desire much bigger luxury houses, cars, but there are also constraints that they face as the prices of products and products are limited and means to pay are limited, right? So thus want and desire together in the real world constraint determine what they buy. Okay, so the effective demand depends upon desire, means to purchase, and willingness. Okay, the all the three should be there. First we should have a demand, means first we should have a desire, then we should have means to purchase, and then our willingness to buy, and willingness to spend our means on purchase of it, right? So unless desire is backed by purchasing power or ability to pay and willingness to pay, it does not constitute demand. Effective demand alone would figure in economic analysis and business decisions. So I will summarize for you. So for us, what is effective demand? It is desire one, means to purchase, and willingness to purchase. See, I can prepare notes and ask you and make a revision, or through help you to go through it directly, but what we want is we need to read out the topic. That's why I am going through every line of the module. What it will do is it will help you guys to have a reading kind of ability, because the questions will not come directly. They come in the basis of case laws. They come, so the question directly will not be asked to you like what is demand. The question will come in the basis of facts, basis of case study. Like a big question will come, there will be 4 to 5 lines of that question, and then we have to find out that what we have to write. So it is very much important for us to have a reading habit of it. So that's why I am reading every line with you. So the two things to be noted about the quantity of demand. Quantity demanded, we have just saw that the quantity demanded was one of the point when we were trying to make out the definition of demand. So two things are to be noted about the quantity of demand. The quantity demanded is always expressed at a given price. That means if the prices are low, the quantity you will demand is more. Let's suppose this pen is 10 rupees. Now if I make the pen of 2 rupees, so you will want to have more. So does the quantity demanded is always expressed at a given price. If the price is changed, the quantity demanded will change. So at different prices, different quantities of a commodity are generally demanded. Okay, this is understood, right? The quantity demanded is a flow. We are concerned not with a single isolated purchase, but with a continuous flow of purchases, and we must therefore express demand as so much period of time. That is 1000 dozens of oranges per day, 7000 dozens of oranges per week, and so on. So see, again, first we studied what are the 5 points: quantity of demand, quantity demanded, willingness, everything, ability to purchase at a given period of time at various prices. This will make the demand definition complete. But in quantity demanded also, what we are going to look is quantity demanded is always at a given price, and also quantity demanded is a flow. It is not a singular process, it is a continuous process, and it is continuous flow of process, and it will be always be expressed as given period of time, per week, per day. Okay, so in short, by demand we mean the various quantities of a given commodity which consumer would buy in one market during a given period of time at various prices, or at various income or at various prices of related goods. So we will understand what it means. Let's go further. So okay, let's come to the next our next topic: what determines demand. So what are the factors, or what are the factors which are determining the demand? Okay, so it is essential for a business firm for estimating the market demand to understand the determinants of the demand and nature of relationship between the demand and its determinants. That means for any business firm, they want to know how much is the demand of our product. So for that, they need to know what are the factors that are determining the demand, and the nature of relationship between those factors and the demand, right? So there are a number of factors that influence the demand for a commodity. All these factors are not equally important. Okay, and however, some of the factors can be easily measured or quantified, while the others may not be the same. So let's dive into the topic of how many factors of the demand are there. So whenever you are studying a topic, it is my own suggestion that whenever you start a topic, when there are points like this, first rather than going deep inside the topic, let's write what actually does the topic contains. Okay, so when we are talking about what determines the demand, so it is the first the price of the commodity, the price of related commodities, disposable income of the consumer, taste and preferences of the buyer, and consumer expectations. So these are the 5 things that you have to write whenever whenever the question is asked about what are the determinants of demand. So whenever you are making a note making or doing something like that, so first what you should be doing is you should be writing what actually the topic is, the topic, what points the topic contains, right? So we'll write here what determines demand. First was price of the commodity, price of the commodity. Second is price of related commodities. That way, first you write down all the 5 points and then we can go deep inside it. So that's just to show you how you should be making your notes, right? But let's for our study topic, let's start with the price of the commodity. So the goods own price is a key determinant of demand. Yes, we all know. First of all, whenever somebody asks you what are the factors on which demand is influenced, so first you can always say that the price of the commodity. Whenever the prices of the commodity are increased, the demand decreases, and whenever the price of the commodity is decreased, the demand increases. So the goods own price is a key determinant of demand. Ceteris paribus, that is meaning of it is other things being equal, the demand for a commodity is inversely related to its price. Price is inversely related to demand. That means if price increases, demand decreases, and when price decreases, demand increases, right? So it implies that a rise in price of commodity brings about a fall in the quantity purchased and vice versa. This happens because of income and substitution effects, right? Now second one, price of related commodities. Related commodities. Related commodities. For a commodity, there can be 2 related commodities. Let's suppose this pen is of certain brand Link. So the refill inside the pen is one related commodity, and other brand pen like another finger grip or some other brand product is its substitute product or its competitive product. So when we talk about price of related commodities, the related commodities are of 2 types. First is complementary goods. The refill inside this pen is a complementary good, and the competing goods or substitute means another brand pen is competing good or substitute goods. When we talk about substitute goods in terms of a pen, it can also be pencil. So pencil and other brand pens are competing goods or substitute goods, and the refill inside or the cap or the nib are complementary goods. So complementary goods or services are those that are bought or consumed together simultaneously. Now the refill and the pen will be bought together. Without the refill, the pen is of no use, and without the pen, the refill is of no use. Okay, so example at TCC, here it is written pen and ink, automobile and petrol. That means other than electric vehicles we are talking here. So any kind of vehicle, petrol vehicle you purchase, so if you will not fill it with petrol, you will be unable to use the automobile. Tea and sugar, right? They are consumed together. The increase in demand for one causes an increase in demand of the other. So when we are talking of complementary good, the increase in demand for one will also increase the demand for the other good. That means if the demand for the pen increases, the demand for the refill also will increase. So when 2 commodities are complements, a fall in price of one other things being equal, will cause the demand of others to rise. That means see, when refill when refills price will increase, the pen's demand will fall. That's what it's trying to tell here. A fall in price of petrol driven cars would lead to rise in demand for the petrol. That means if the price of the petrol driven car would fall, then there will be rise of demand of petrol, because people will purchase more petrol cars and there would be more demand for the petrol. Similarly, computers and computer software are also complementary goods. Without the software, the hardware is of no use. So the computer and computer software are complementary good. A fall in the price of computer will cause a rise in the demand for software. That means a fall in price of computer means, here we are talking, first we used to see what the difference between first and the second point is. We were talking about the price of the same product and what the demand will happen to the same product. Now we are saying that the complementary goods price, if increases or decreases, directly it will inversely related to the complementary product as well. So a fall in price of computer will cause a rise in demand for the software. The reverse will be in the case of when the price of complement good rises. An increase in the price of a complementary good reduces the demand for the good in question. Thus we find that there is an inverse relation between demand for a good and the price of its complement. First point was demand of the same product and the price of the same product. Now demand for a good and price of its complement, right? So now first commodity is over. When we spoke about related commodities, first was complementary goods. Now we are talking about the second type of related good, that is competing or substitute goods. For this pen, what would be the competing good? Competing means another brand same pen would be competing good. And what would be the substitute for a pen? It would be pencil, or it would be any other type of writing pen, or any other lead pencil, or anything would be substitute. So when they satisfy the same want and can be used with ease in place of one another. Can pencil be used in place of pen? Yes, in some cases, yes. So it can be used with ease in place of one another, and they will satisfy the same want. That is the same when you are writing in the notebook. So you can write with pen as well, so pencil as well. So they can substitute each other easily. For example, tea and coffee, ink pen and ball pen. See, ink pen and ball pen. Different brands of toothpaste, like we said, different brands of pen, also different brands of toothpaste are substitute to each other and can be used in place of one or the another. So when goods are substitutes, if the price of a product being purchased goes up, the buyers may switch to cheaper perspective. That means cheaper substitute. That means if the price of this pen becomes 100, what people would do generally, they'll buy pencils. So this decreases the demand for the product at a given price, but increases the demand for the substitute. Okay. Similarly, a fall in price of a product leads to a fall in quantity demanded for its substitute. So let's see the example. If the price of tea falls, that means price of the tea falls, the people will try to substitute it for coffee and demand more of it and less of coffee. That means tea's prices are going down, but the demand of coffee on the other hand is also going down. So that is the demand of tea will rise and the coffee will fall. Therefore there is a direct and positive correlation between the demand for a product and the price of its substitute. Okay, so we studied what we were studying, determinants of demand. First we studied about the price of the product, and second one was price of related goods. Let's summarize the second point. When it comes to complementary goods, what was happening? The price of complementary goods, if it increases, so what will happen to the demand of our product? It will also, when the price of complementary goods was increasing, the demand for our product will decrease, right? This was the rule in complementary goods. But in substitute goods, if the price of substitute goods increases, if price of substitute goods increases, what will happen to the demand for our product? It will also increase. So there is a direct and positive relation between demand of product and the price of its substitute in case of substitute goods. In case of complementary goods, it is inverse. So we studied both the topics. In this part of video, we saw what demand meant in economic terms, and we studied the two determinants of demand. Hope you have liked the video. In the next part of the video, we will study the remaining points of determinants of demand. Till then, take care. Have a nice day. Bye bye.